Hey, Taylor Johnson here. If you're listening to this, you've either made a great choice or you've accidentally clicked something while scrolling. Either way, you should stay. This is Pop Culture Pastor.
Pop Culture Pastor.
All right, Cody. I'm very tired.
As you should be.
Yeah. For all our podcast listeners, if you didn't know, first of all, why don't you follow us on social media? If you listen to this podcast, you should really follow us on social media.
That's on you.
I mean, really. The news is out there. But if you didn't know, I had my 5th child. I didn't have it. My wife did.
I was going to say.
But by proxy, I had my 5th child.
You're really close to Brady Bunch.
Yep. Well, we have a basketball team.
You do.
But we're spaced out in the age department.
Hopefully your oldest is LeBron James.
No, she is not. Some of them, that's the other problem. Some of them not good at basketball, unfortunately. But none of them are as good as I was, if we're being honest. Especially that baby. I mean, she can't dribble for nothing.
Dunk on her.
Yeah, so we had a kid, and I'm old, and nothing will make you start doing math faster than when you have a kid as an older person. You'll be like, I'm going to be this old when this one graduates. And that can be daunting. But we're doing well because we're blessed. And yeah, so we're just going to be those old parents. And it'll be weird for some people, but not for us. We're good with it.
It happens.
Yeah. Jackson, how old are you? You had a kid last year or this year?
Last year.
Yeah.
So I am 36 now, so 35-year-old first-time dad.
Yeah. See, that's somewhat older.
Yeah.
So you get me.
Yeah.
You were
most
doing
definitely.
the math.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways, that's why we took a week off, because I had to be a good husband and take care of things around the house while my wife was adjusting to a new rhythm. And boy, it is a rhythm, because it feels like everyone sleeps in shifts.
Still waiting for that Cody solo project the next time you're gone.
The Cody pod.
It's
Cody's
happened
solo
before.
pod.
Has it happened? Have you done a pod by yourself? I don't remember that.
Scotty zoomed in.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that now. Yeah.
It's back in the dark ages of the pod. Like episode 10.
Well, this is Pop Culture Pastor, the podcast. My name is Dave. Cody is here.
I am present.
You've also heard the voice of Sir Jackson Chauncey, Geek of the Round Table.
Fantasy football czar.
But you didn't win the regular season.
Tied-ish.
There is a tiebreaker, and it is points.
Also, nobody cares who wins the regular season. It's all about the playoffs, baby.
I will
It
hang
is.
a banner, Dave.
You-
I am the Buffalo Bills of this fantasy football league.
There is a trophy for winning the league outright, and I will not say what it is yet. But last year, it may or may not have been Jesus-centric.
It was.
I was just going to
Potentially.
repossess that one when I won. So.
Nope.
Oh.
That one stays at the house.
Oh, look, he's claiming it.
Yeah.
Even though his wife won.
Stolen valor.
What is mine is hers, and vice versa.
All right. Well, Cody, as we start our news segment here, I have a celebration for us here at the pod,
Oh, nice.
because we have a lot of takes on this podcast.
As hot take champ, Cody, yes.
And often our takes are unechoed and unbacked. Nobody gets behind them on social media. They do not go viral. But
Unfortunately.
we had a take that we were very vocal about, that we seemed kind of on our own with. Yeah, a lot of people liked a certain movie that we did not like, and in fact, we hated it.
Was it Gladiator 2?
And we had a specific reason for hating it. And now we have an ally. It was Gladiator 2. And the ally's name is one Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe was on someone else's podcast, or Triple J. Do you know who this is? Why does everyone have a podcast? And why do they have weird names? Why aren't they just Dave and Cody? Triple J?
Jeff Joseph Jarrett.
J. Jonah Jameson. I didn't know Jay had anyways. So Russell Crowe had some very pointed things to say about Gladiator 2. He said, I think the recent sequel that we don't have to name out loud is a really unfortunate example of even the people in that engine room not actually understanding what made the first one special. It wasn't the pomp. It wasn't the circumstance. It wasn't the action. It was the moral core. He went on to say that there was a daily fight on that set, a daily fight to keep that moral core of the character. The amount of times they suggested sex scenes and stuff like that for Maximus, it was like, you're taking away his power. What are you talking about? So let's stop right there. This indicates a couple things. That Ridley Scott's a hack.
Been saying it for years.
Like we said, Russell Crowe is absolutely right. If that's what really happened on the set of Gladiator, one. Jackson, are you a fan of Gladiator? I don't remember.
Yeah. It was an enjoyable
He has
film.
a tattoo of Gladiator.
Lower back.
Oh. Are you serious?
No.
I'm like, you got to be kidding. Okay, so he goes on to say, so you're saying that at the same time that he had this relationship with his wife, he was with this other girl? Crow asked incredulously. What are you talking about? It's crazy. He goes on to say in the podcast that people were coming up to him asking about it, and he was like, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with this movie. And so, but he's with us, Cody.
He is.
He says, yeah, that was dumb because you could completely erase the moral standing of what made that character great.
I think if you consider things intelligently, like you think about the connective tissues between a first movie and a second movie, it really should not undo that first character unless you have something like in the first movie that was a thread that just wasn't flushed out. Like, oh, he was staring at this lady for far too long. That was not his wife. But that wasn't in the first movie. And so it made zero sense. I'm glad that Russell Crowe is an ally of mine. I am naming it and claiming it. In your face, Ridley.
In this and all things, Russell Crowe is your ally.
Yes.
Clearly, we are close personal friends with Russell Crowe, and he listened to the pod and was just as irate as we were.
Very.
He listened while in Panama.
It was, I mean, in all honesty, that sequel was such a money grab. Like, let me play the part of capitalist Cody here. That was a straight up money grab. And it was like, we don't even care what the story is. We're just going to put it out there.
I mean, they had great actors to carry out this script that was very weak. And if you hadn't watched the movie in maybe 15 years, you might not have thought too much of it. But if you had rewatched it anytime over the past couple, you would see blatant plot holes and like, why did you do this?
Imagine having a Gladiator sequel and you and knowing you were going to have Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, all these actors who
All
are
the scowls.
Yeah, all these actors who are going to be great, and you give up that script. That's the script you're going with.
That is very much Ridley Scott.
When I see Denzel again, I'm going to ask him about it. Just to be clear, I've never seen Denzel.
I mean, if you watch that Napoleon movie, which I have still not gotten over, I have PTSD from watching it in theaters. Who gives this guy money to make movies?
Yeah.
It was visually great. I don't have any qualms with it, but like his storytelling, woof.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see Napoleon, so I wouldn't say I took it with a grain of salt. I believed you. Because I saw the trailer, and the trailer alone, when he's launching cannonballs at the pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, that didn't happen. That alone made me like kind of chuckle. But Gladiator 2 was that was the kicker for me. It's like, okay, I'm done with Ridley. I don't need to see any more of his stuff. That's too bad because Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's on our wall.
It is. I have a signed bus poster, I think is what that is, signed by Russell Crowe. So he is a friend of the pod, whether he knows it or not. And he doesn't. So it's one of those things. There was also some interesting news here. Are you familiar with a short, a horror short called The Portrait of God? You familiar with this?
Oh, I am familiar because my friend wrote it.
Your friend?
Yes.
Are you being serious right now? You know this guy? This Dylan Clark?
The other guy that co-wrote it with him.
Joe Russo.
Yes.
Yeah, not that Joe Russo. The other Joe Russo is what he's known
Cody's
as.
ex-friend or Twitter friend, Joe Russo.
Wait, is he not friends with you anymore?
We are friends.
Oh, okay.
But they call it X now and not Twitter.
Oh,
and
I
so-
thought you meant ex-friend as in like he unfriended you.
No.
Which I didn't think you could do on X. But yeah, so this little short film that is on YouTube, you go check it out. It's called The Portrait of God. And it's basically the idea of it is it's springing from this Old Testament verse that says, "No man shall see me and live." And they turn that into sort of a horror kind of thing. Like, how scary is that? And it's this painting that, may or may not do something to you when you look at it. And you see, it's, to most people, it appears to be black, but some people say they see something in the painting. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. That's not the part that interests me, although it's an interesting premise.
So that show that was on Netflix about the vampire and the priest.
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass, thank you. I almost said Black Mass, and I'm like, that's not it.
Nope.
Midnight Mass, yeah. It kind of does that, like you do a logical thing with something spiritual, but make it horror logic. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I'm here for it.
So the interesting thing about this, because the premise is interesting, don't get me wrong, but the really interesting thing is that the producers, the people who are at the lead of this, is a collaboration between Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi, which is two like horror genre giants.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, Sam crosses fandoms with his superhero directing, but you want classic 70s, 80s horror films, Sam's your guy.
Yeah.
He has that vibe.
Yeah.
And Jordan Peele, like almost anything he touches seems to be pure gold. So
they're going to turn this short that has 8.6 million views on YouTube. So it's on YouTube. You can go look it up. It's called Portrait of God. They're going to turn this into a full-length feature, and I would assume you're interested. I'm interested.
I'm interested. I really wanted you to reach out to my friend Joe Russo and see if we could have him on the pod.
You literally are friends with him on X. Why don't you just direct message him?
Because I don't have say on like how and when and where. I know nothing about the technological side of this.
Like I would
Cody
say,
just shows up.
I would
do.
say no.
I just phone in.
Like if he said Joe Russo wants to be on the pod, I'd be like, the Avengers Joe Russo? And he'd be like, no, not the other Joe Russo. And I'd be like, oh, okay.
No.
The Joe Russo is what I refer to him as.
Yeah, all right. Sure. If you say so.
I'm reaching out, and when he listens to the pod and hears this episode, he knows I know.
Joe, the other Joe Russo, knows he's a smart dude. And he will understand that I'm kidding. I'm joking around. We would love to have the other Joe Russo on the pod.
Also has already seen James Cameron's newest $1 billion movie that will be $1 billion.
I don't want to talk about Avatar right now, man. I'm too tired for that.
Thought it was Titanic 2. So, since
All right.
we're talking about unnecessary sequels.
Very unnecessary. It's time to play the movie game. You guys ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, it's time for the movie game. Jackson, are you on a winning streak? I don't remember. Or did Cody win the last one?
No.
No, it went into overtime.
15, 16 in a row, but who's keeping track?
He's like, no.
Like, we both got the first question on, like, the second guess, which was impressive. And then
That's right. Yeah.
we went to OT.
I'm excited about this one because we've got some fun ones here in front of me. And so the usual rules apply here as movie game rules. In my hand, have 3 Rotten Tomato profiles of movies. One is certified rotten. The other is a mediocre movie. It's kind of in the mid-range. And then one is certified fresh. It's a certified fresh movie. So we have all over the gamut. Jackson, I think I know where you're going. You have a pattern, but go ahead and tell me which one you're going to try and solve.
Certified rotten.
He's going rotten. Rotten movie it is. Here are the levels. You will first get the year the movie came out and the critic score. Level 2 is second billed actor. Level 3 will be the audience score. Level 4, the top billed actor. And should you need it, level 5, the blurb.
Level 6, title of the movie.
Yeah, that is correct. Let's start off with level 1. Your movie, Jackson, came out in 1992 with a critical score of 21%. Certified rotten.
Step 2.
He goes immediately to step 2. Cody, what does that even say? Popeye? 1992?
I don't know.
That was in the 80s, man.
Well, late 80s, early 90s. They blend when you're an 80s kid.
Level 2 will be the second billed actor. I don't know how much this is going to help you, but his name is Joss Ackland. Joss Ackland.
Jackson knows all the Joss Ackland movies.
Does he really?
Yes.
I bet he would recognize him. I bet he would.
I've got him, but let's go step 3.
Okay.
Whoa.
Do you know who he is? Just because I'm curious. Okay, he nods. Step 3 will be the audience score. Quite the jump up here. Audiences like it. 65% for this movie that had a 21% critical score, starring Joss Ackland in 1992. Do you have a guess, sir?
When we guess, do we switch over if we're wrong, or do we keep going?
You keep going.
Oh, you keep going. Yeah,
That's why I
don't get
always
penalized.
guess.
Mighty Ducks.
It is the Mighty Ducks.
That's
Good
stupid.
guess. He did know who Joss Ackland
I could have gotten
was.
it around early, but
I told you. He knew who this random person was that no one knows.
that's diplomatic immunity.
Yes, I was just about to say his biggest role was Lethal Weapon 2 as the bad guy.
Literally, not even Joss Ackland's mom knows who he is.
Man, that was harsh, dude. I mean, I'm sure Joss Ackland's not among the living anymore, or his mom, but because he was quite old back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made the skates.
Diplomatic immunity. That was a great line, dude. Okay, Cody, you have to solve it by level 3. If you
This
wanna,
is ridiculous.
If you want to tie, will you be trying to solve the mediocre movie or the certified fresh?
Give me the fresh. We're just going to have a huge stack of mediocre movies.
All right, certified fresh movie for Cody, level 1. You know that this is an 81% critically certified fresh movie that
that's
came out
fresh.
in 1986. We're going back a little farther.
Popeye.
I can pretty much guarantee that Popeye was not critically well received. Second tier, the second billed actor, Alan Ruck. Alan Ruck. As Jackson rolls his eyes.
What Jackson doesn't know is I don't know Alan Ruck by name.
So he's in trouble. 92% audience score. Audiences liked it even more. Guess another Alan Ruck movie, I guess, but you don't know who Alan Ruck is.
Platoon.
Was he in Platoon? He might have been in Platoon. I don't know.
Everyone
I don't
was
remember.
in Platoon.
So Cody's going to lose. I'll give you the top billed actor. That might have helped you had it gone this far. Matthew Broderick.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
The guy from Spin City.
Alan Ruck?
Yeah.
I would have said Young Guns 2, but okay.
I can appreciate that flex, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He was the guy from Spin City.
How do you not know one of maybe the greatest character actors of our generations? Like Alan Ruck is in lots of things.
Twister.
Cody?
He was probably the 6th build in Twister.
It doesn't matter. He's in so many things.
He is one of those guys that you see them, you know them, but you don't know their name.
You don't know his name. Yeah, that's fair.
I literally said he was the guy from Spin City.
If you'd have showed me a picture of him, I'd have just been like, oh, it's Cameron. It's Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And that's why you'll never be me.
Yeah, Jackson wins again. He's on a streak. He's on a heater.
He is, but next time I will defeat him.
It's a good day for Jackson because we are about to Be Kind Rewind, one of his favorite Christmas movies.
Godspeed.
And we're going to do that right after this. Stick around. All right, welcome back. We're doing a Be Kind Rewind. As I mentioned, this is one of Jackson's favorite Christmas movies. Would you like to introduce it, Jackson?
Yes, we are doing Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves Christmas. Now, why do you love Ernest Saves Christmas, Jackson?
I'm all about Ernest. I grew up with Ernest. I tried to discover how I found Ernest earlier today, but my dad said don't blame me for it.
Disney.
Well, I remember for local Chanute listeners, Pop and Go, it was our regular movie rental joint before Video Warehouse came along.
Video Warehouse. That sounds wonderfully generic.
Yeah. And I've seen most of the Ernest series. There's a couple blind spots in there.
Ernest Goes to Africa.
That being one of them. I'm not entirely sure that's a real movie.
It absolutely is, according to Wikipedia.
Is it Dunking Ernest?
Slam Dunk Ernest.
We are going to go through the entire list, so
sweet.
don't worry about it. We will cover all of this. I've got plans.
But it's a Christmas movie staple. It's a yearly rewatch for me, and soon my son, when he can appreciate it.
Yeah, I do remember liking this when I was a kid and watching this, but I will also preface that with saying the late 80s were a strange time. We were really into man children. Pee Wee Herman was huge. And Ernest, in a lot of ways, is like sort of the answer to that. Like, it was like, oh, Pee Wee's big. Let's do that. Let's elevate this guy. And it was Ernest. And we're going to talk about that. But first, Ernest Saves Christmas. This is a movie starring Jim Varney as the character Ernest P. Worrell, who he's almost inseparable with. And then really the only person that's in this that might be a name someone knows is Billy Bird.
Yes, it is.
Billy, the original Glinda from The Wizard of Oz, and in countless 80s movies.
I was going to say Home Alone.
Yeah, the old
Home
grandfatherly
Alone 2.
lady. Sweet 16 Candles. She's one of the grandparents in that. And so Billy Bird was all over the place in the 80s. But yeah, she's like the most recognizable person in the movie. This is an Ernest movie. It's a Christmas movie. And it came out on November 11th, 1988, directed by John R. Cherry III. A tidy hour and 35 minutes. Cost $6 million to make. That's the budget. And when you watch it, you believe it. Like, this is clearly low budget, but made $28 million at the box office. I think we got to preface some things here first, though, because you got to understand who Ernest P. Worrell is if you're uninitiated. So Ernest was created in 1980 by an ad agency in Nashville, Carden and Cherry Advertising Agency. And the goal wasn't for him to be a movie character. He started off as like a local / regional TV advertising mascot in a way. And he was made to sell everything from amusement park tickets to soda to dairy products, depending on what region he was in. But his first known appearance was in a commercial advertising an amusement park appearance with cheerleaders at Beach Bend Park near Bowling Green, Kentucky. The first time I remember seeing him was in a potato chips commercial. Do you guys remember this? You might be too young.
You know me, the 80s kid, Cody.
Yeah. I remember seeing him in chips commercials for chips, but apparently he was in all sorts of commercials. And we were really into like these man-child entertainers for some reason in the late 80s. He became the star of a Saturday morning cartoon show. Well, it wasn't really a cartoon. It was just a kid's show called Hey Vern, It's Ernest. And the reason the name Vern is in there is because all of these commercials are filmed in this weird point of view, POV type sense where you, the viewer, are Vern.
I've been Vern my whole life.
Ernest talks into the camera like he's talking to you, but he's referring to you as this guy you never see named Vern. He became so popular in these advertisements and then the Saturday morning kids show and then the success of guys like Pee Wee Herman that he got elevated into this movie franchise. And the first movie is a movie called Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. It's Ernest's first appearance, but he's just a cameo in it. It's not a full-on Ernest movie. The full-on first Ernest movie is 1987's Ernest Goes to Camp, which was a big deal when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie was huge. It's the first official full-length Ernest film. He's the camp handyman, and he tries to turn a ragtag group of delinquents into camp-ready kids, blah, blah, blah. That old chestnut. It's like the plot of every summer camp movie ever. But so get this, budget $3.5 million, which is like one day on a Marvel shoot. $3.5 million. It grossed $23.5 million worldwide.
Blockbuster.
It made $20 million.
That's impressive.
That was in 1987. Then a quick turnaround, 1988, Ernest Saves Christmas, the movie we're going to talk about. Ernest tries to help Santa find a successor. Budget $6 million, becomes the highest grossing Ernest theatrical film at $28.2 million. Then 1990 sees Ernest Goes to Jail, where Ernest is mistaken for a criminal doppelganger who he plays. Jim Varney plays the evil doppelganger guy. Hijinks ensue. That grossed $25 million. 1991, Ernest Scared Stupid, where Ernest unwittingly unleashes a troll. It's kind of horror comedy meets kid scare fun. Continues his theatrical streak. 1993, Ernest Rides Again. Are you familiar with this one, Jackson?
That's a blind spot for me.
A later theatrical film in the franchise. Around this time, the popularity of Ernest begins to decline. And then we get a handful of direct-to-video installments.
Ernest Goes to School.
Ernest Goes to School in 1994. 1995 Slam Dunk Ernest.
Yeah.
Where Ernest tries to become a basketball star thanks to magic sneakers.
I think they play the Charlotte Hornets in that.
1997, which I can't believe they were still making these in 1997.
Oh, I can.
Ernest Goes to Africa. Another late era Ernest adventure. And then in 1998, the final one, Ernest in the Army. And that's the last one.
I thought Africa put the kibosh on Ernest, but
Nope. There was one more, Ernest in the Army, which I see you haven't seen it either.
no.
I thought you said you were an Ernest fan.
Oh, I am an Ernest fan, but it's
If
like
you haven't seen Ernest Goes to Africa, then what are you even doing on
feel
this
like
pod?
Ernest went the way of one Steven Seagal.
Yeah. As cringy as this movie gets at times with some themes it kind of plays around with, I'm a little nervous about the Ernest Goes to Africa movie, having not seen that one before.
It's been probably 25 years since I've seen it, so
And the
You've
fact
seen
that you
it?
can recall it says a lot.
I can't believe you've seen it. That's crazy.
We'll have them donate to the Patreon when we watched Ernest Goes to Africa.
So now we have to kind of explain who Jim Varney was. Because Jim Varney is the actor who plays Ernest. And for kids that grew up with Ernest, most of them don't know his real name. He just was Ernest P. Worrell.
Jed Clampett.
Yes.
Slinky Dog. Cookie.
So Jim Varney was born in 1949 in Lexington, Kentucky. He grew up loving theater and performance. At 15, he played Ebenezer Scrooge in a local children's theater production. By 17, he's already performing professionally in clubs, small theaters. He did a mix of stand-up, regional theater, and small television roles. He's a regular cast member of the television show Johnny Cash and Friends. Do you remember the variety show era?
Yes, I do.
Did you know Johnny Cash had his own variety show?
I did, actually,
Yeah.
because of Facebook.
Incredible stuff. He could also be seen in Hank Williams Jr. video for All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight.
Oh, not all my rowdy friends have settled down.
All my rowdy friends are a bit chill now. That's the updated version. No, he's briefly shown casually riding a bull in the music video for Hank Williams Jr.'s All My Rowdy Friends. He also had a final guest appearance near the end of his career with the Bible Man series.
Hey, with that one guy that was in Charles in Charge?
Yeah, Bible Man Jr., Volume 1 and 2 as himself.
Not Chachi.
Not Scott Bale.
It was not. It was the other
Not
guy.
Tony Danza.
It was Ames.
Yeah.
Is Randy Ames? I don't remember his first name. Willie Ames. It's
Yeah.
Willie Ames.
It is.
He's Bible Man. Varney didn't just stick with Ernest P. Worrell, though. He does have things, as alluded to. He was the voice of Slinky Dog in the first 2 Toy Story films, which is a big deal. It gave him a role in a landmark animated film series. And then he also was Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies movie in the early 90s.
Which I watched.
You did watch that.
No love for Atlantis, Dave. It's okay.
He was also in Atlantis. Yeah,
Thank you.
the animated movie Atlantis. And they had to replace him in the second one because he had already passed on. Varney was a longtime chain smoker. During the filming of something called Treehouse Hostage in 1998, he developed a nagging cough, which he initially believed to be caused by a cold. As his condition worsened, he sought medical treatment, was diagnosed with lung cancer. He reportedly quit smoking to continue performing, but he came back to Tennessee where he underwent chemotherapy and died February 10th, 2000 at the age of 50. 50 years old, so young.
Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah, it's a bummer. So that part of it's kind of made me sad. And I feel a little bit more sad when I talk about Jim Varney outside of Ernest, because you do realize that this guy was someone who wanted to be a serious actor.
He did Shakespeare.
Yeah. But at the same time, this is how Hollywood goes sometimes. I mean, not everybody can say they made it doing something, and he did, but you often get pigeonholed however it is you make it. And so it's an interesting trade-off
Yes.
that you see with his life. So now that we understand the player in this, I can kind of set up the plot of Ernest Saves Christmas. Essentially, our guy Ernest is a taxi cab driver, and he picks up Santa Claus at the airport.
Orlando.
In Orlando, Florida. What is Santa Claus doing in Orlando?
Good question.
He's there to pass the mantle. Much like the Santa Claus, the mantle of Santa passes on to a new guy every so often because the magic fades.
You mean Mr. Santos?
Yeah, they keep calling him Santos. So he's there to pass the mantle to this guy named Joe Carruthers, who's like the nicest dude on earth, right?
Quite literally.
And everyone around him, sees like, oh, yeah, it's a natural fit for Santa. But Joe wants to be a movie star. Don't we all? And so the whole movie is spent with them kind of chasing Joe, trying to convince him that he should be the next Santa.
Santa also goes to jail.
And there's some other subplots with a teenage runaway and Ernest plays a bunch of different characters in disguise as they're getting involved in hijinks, blah, blah, blah. But that's basically the gist of the story. To Save Christmas. Jackson, would you like to add to that, since you're the big fan?
Well, you get the misdirect that Ernest does not become Santa.
Yes, that's true. He would have been a terrible Santa.
I never thought he was going to be Santa.
He saved Christmas.
He is both, like, is there any character ever that is both shown as incompetent and competent at the same time as Ernest? Mr. Bean
Yeah.
is in the same vein of character, where he somehow gets things done but can't get anything done. He's totally hapless.
Is Mr. Bean British Ernest?
Maybe.
Or is Ernest American Mr. Bean?
Philosophers have tried to answer that question for decades.
Pink Panther movie cartoons.
Clouseau.
Yeah. But Clouseau is, I mean, yeah, he's sort of a clumsy dude, but he's adept. It's a trope for sure. But yeah, anything you want to add to that, Jackson?
No, you summed it up quite nicely.
All right.
Well done, Dave.
Let's go to Muppet-ize the movie. Jackson, did you do this?
I feel like Ernest has to remain Ernest. That's the softball. And then he would do wonderful with Muppets, similar to Michael Caine. I'm now mad we didn't get an Ernest Muppet crossover.
You are quoting me verbatim for what I'm going to say. But go ahead. Yeah.
That's all I got. I'll keep it pithy.
Cody, did you do this?
I did do this.
All right.
I thought about
Cody's going to
replacing-
go contrarian.
I
He's going
thought
to pick
about
someone else.
replacing Ernest, but I'm like, then you don't have a movie.
Replace Ernest with Rolf.
Nope. He's going to. So you're keeping Jim Varney.
I am keeping Jim. So I will replace Harmony or Noelle Parker with Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
And then it is the OG Santa Claus, who I will have as Kermie.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I will go Gonzo for Joe, the new Santa.
Yeah, we're very close on this. But this, as we said, this is like maybe the easiest Muppetized movie ever because you're clearly keeping Jim Varney as Ernest. He always acts like he's in a Muppet movie. Like he's just a natural. He's like a lost Henson cousin. A Muppet by energy, if not by species. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, you're keeping Jim Varney. And I would have had Kermit. I think Kermit's a natural fit for Joe Carruthers.
He is, but then at the same time, I like to subvert tropes.
Yeah. Contrarian Cody.
Swedish chef for
Joe-
original Santa.
Joe is this hesitant, overly considerate, sort of gentle soul, but his main obstacle is believing that he has this chance to be cool, or he has this dream of being an actor. And so that's kind of Kermit's entire emotional journey in the Muppet, the original Muppet movie. And so I thought it was a natural fit. Miss Piggy as Harmony / Pamela, the teenage runaway, is an obvious one too, but it's kind of weird and awkward, and that's what would make it fun because it was the 80s, so it would just fit. I would want to see Piggy telling Kermie, "I'm in trouble with the law, Kermie," because it would just be hilarious. But I would have Gonzo as the old Santa because that's just chaos. Like Gonzo is always the one that doesn't make any sense. He's always some character, and you're just like, why is he this character? And then there's chickens.
Who plays Joe's agent? That would be the real unique spin.
Man, I don't know. It has to be like the hawk guy, right?
Sam, the bald eagle.
Sam.
The eagle, yeah.
Also, I would like it if it was the Swedish chef, just because he gets a little animated. And as soon as the OG Santa says that he is Santa, and he's like, "No, your name's Santos." Like, yeah, I'm here for it.
And to echo what Jackson said, I would have paid real, actual money to watch Jim Varney and real Muppets riff off each other. I can't believe, how was that not like a 1989 ABC Christmas special? How did that not happen? Should have happened.
Travesty of our times.
Absolute travesty. All right, Jackson, what holds up about Ernest Saves Christmas?
You know, there's stuff I watch now as a elder adult, and I wonder, how did I ever enjoy this as a kid? And, you know, what did that say about me as a child? But Ernest holds up. I still laugh at the characters and, you know, the situations he gets himself into. The impressions are still top notch. I don't feel it's corny. I don't feel embarrassed, either by subject matter or just the overall quality of the performance. So it's something from my childhood that I'm still proud to watch as an adult, which I don't always get.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think any problems I have with it have nothing to do with especially Jim Varney, who just is going full bore the whole time. I mean, he's so sold out. I thought to myself many times while watching it last night that Jim Varney is like the middle America version of Will Ferrell, where they're just like, his role in Elf is very similar to Ernest P. Worrell in that he's supposed to be like this childlike kind of, some people would say simpleton, but he's so sold out for it. And I think so. I thought he had a lot in common with Will Ferrell. Cody, what do you think holds up from Ernest Saves Christmas?
Usually I say the cast. I'm not going to say that this time.
Thank you. My sanity will remain.
But I will say the casting of Oliver Clark as Joe.
Okay.
I believe that dude is genuinely the nicest guy walking around God's green earth. And like my friend Russell Crowe, he has morals and ethics and gumption. And he's like, I'm not going to cuss in front of these kids. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. And I'm like, this guy.
Yeah, he's super believable.
Yes, that was good casting.
Yeah, I agree. Super, super believable in that role. Jim Varney is the easy one, I think, of what holds up for me. Like, this movie would collapse without him. He is essentially the movie, and it's not written to be much beyond that. I mean, it is a vehicle for Ernest. He's magnetic. I found him, like, his comedy in it, the way he is Ernest, it's so effortless. Like, and I think that's why people just think of him as Ernest and not the guy acting.
Jed Clampett.
And it's just insane how committed to being this lovable goofball he is. The voice, the physical comedy, the rubber face expressions he does, like, just randomly throughout. I laughed several times, like Jackson. And it's not that I didn't watch this and think, oof, this part could have been better, and this part could have been better. This doesn't quite hold up. But it was never with him. It was never Jim Varney. I literally laughed. In fact, my wife was side-eyeing me as I was laughing at some of this.
When he goes to the agent's office as his mother, that's just gold.
It absolutely gold. I feel like Jim Varney is the kind of actor who could have had a Robin Williams-ish type career arc if Hollywood would have known what to do with him. I feel like he was that good. Like, he could have been that. I found Douglas Seal as Santa Claus, who pretty sure I don't recognize from anything else. He's perfect. He's a perfect Santa.
Yes.
He's warm, he's gentle, he's twinkly, he's believable, and he has a British accent, which somehow just gives him like this storybook feel. It's like he walks straight out of a Dickens story. I love him. He's not goofy. He's very sincere, and he's like the perfect counterbalance to Ernest's kind of chaotic energy. The airport guys, Gaylord Sartain, and Bill Burge, who are like these two guys that are in a lot of Ernest stuff. They're just part of his players. They're quietly one of the best parts of the entire movie. Like, every scene with them is great. I chuckled at every scene they're in that centers around them, and they are kind of separated. Like, they're just kind of doing their own thing as these airport luggage workers who are in charge of like doing something with the magical reindeer. They're great. They're like I found them to be like the Statler and Waldorf, like the old Muppets of the Ernest films. And so I thought they were great. And of course, I was like, hey, look, it's Billy Bird. Billy Bird. She was in so much in the 80s. And every time Billy Bird shows up, you immediately feel like it's 1987. And I'm like, hey, Mom, can I have a Capri Sun? Because, that's what I would have wanted in the 80s. It's sort of a cameo-ish. It's not a big role, but she brings that grandma energy, and it's wonderful.
She has important dialogue towards the end.
She helps former Santa find love, Dave.
Yes, this is true. Do you guys have anything else that holds up?
I mean, the bits.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Ernest is, essentially. It's a lot like a Saturday Night Live skit turned into movies.
Yeah.
It follows the same sort of pattern that a lot of those do. All right. What doesn't hold up, Jackson?
And don't tell me nothing.
He's really thinking hard right now. He's struggling. Jackson isn't as cynical as us.
I'm going to ask that we come back to me.
Okay.
Once I get offended.
Jackson is going to wait till you say what you think doesn't hold up, and he's going to argue.
Oh,
if that's okay with you.
I got a handful of things, so I don't know where to dive in.
I've got a few things as well.
So I will say, I think the directing's not great. Like, the pace is clunky at times, which I get.
I don't think they cared.
Oh, I know they didn't care. I get when you have a whirlwind of an actor such as Jim, or Robin Williams, that you're going to have some things that are just like no one knows how to respond at that moment. Mm-hmm. We could have edited this a little bit, changed some things up there. And then, I mean, I think even back in the 80s, even though it was like only the best 8 months of my life, that Ernest having a teenager in his home without like parental knowledge and like without questioning, like, what should I do with this teenager? Should I like drop her off at the police station or something?
Jackson is in full-on protest over here. Jackson, would you like to... I'm going to act as the decider in this scenario. Jackson, would you like to counter that?
I mean, it's easy to take a modern lens to a older film and ask those questions, but I think when you...
It's at least
like
a
you
red
said-
flag, though, right?
You can get there. It's the breadcrumbs are there.
He's
Don't
a
get me wrong.
40-year-old man.
But as Dave said, you know, it's that man-child. I don't think anybody is legitimately watching that movie and going there. So I think that's kind of a backseat driving type take.
It's not because I really think that Ernest is knockoff Pee-wee.
Or
Dottie and Pee-wee are about the same age.
Yeah.
This girl, it feels like a fill-in because there's moments that she like does a Dottie voice, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Okay, there's two segments that stick out in my mind where it gets a little weird. Okay, the one is where they're in disguise.
Yes.
And they're playing along and they're riffing with each other. And she's
the
clearly
governor's
pretending...
niece.
Yeah, she's pretending to be a minor still, but yet they have a weird dynamic, right? He's pretending to be like an aide, like the top aide to the governor.
Yes.
And she's the governor's niece. And they're together for some... Because that wouldn't be suspicious at all.
Not at all.
But I mean...
And then the kiss?
The kiss at the end, and he acts like all kind of aw shucksy, which is how I would describe it. That was a little cringy. Because I'm just like, listen, the time of all this, like Jackson said, you had to have been there in the late 80s.
I was there. Except I wasn't there because this comes out in 88.
So as an 8-month-old, were you saying that's not right?
It's not so much this movie or the moments in it that of this part that doesn't hold up. It's more this atmosphere and that we just liked this kind of like lovable man-child at this time because it exists in this moment where we just liked seeing fully grown male adults acting like kind of naive children.
My wife does not appreciate it.
Pee Wee Herman, Ernest, even to some extent, a guy like maybe like Weird Al, who kind of plays into that energy. We loved any adult male who was behaving like a 7-year-old.
Could we make this now?
No.
Probably not. But
No.
do I feel that's a fair critique of this movie? No.
Yes.
Are you going to say the score next?
But in particular, the teenage runaway dynamic. That one has aged sort of weirdly. It's not exactly inappropriate. It just feels awkward. You've got an adult dude and a teenage runaway hanging out for most of the movie. And in an 80s way, it plays kind of sweet. But in our 2025 brain, automatically we go, are we sure about this? Feels a little cringy.
I think in the real world, even in the 80s, people would have said, oh, that's old creepy Eddie there.
But he's a simpleton.
In the movies, we just chalk it up to, oh, he's just being nice.
Honestly, it's got a little of Mice and Men energy, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
So Dave, as the elder statesman of the pod, back in the day, was it easy just to jump on a bus and go cross country and have your parents not know?
Absolutely.
I was going to say it's still that way even today. Like within my mental health career, I had a kid get checked out of a school once and then disappear.
Yeah, back in the 80s, I would say the thing that's different than now is it would have been easy to get lost and stay lost. Whereas today now,
There's
someone will see you,
cameras
there's
somewhere.
cameras, you got to pay for stuff somehow. That leaves a paper trail, which back then everybody would have been using cash.
Now we don't have pennies, Dave.
The pennies are gone. Do you have anything else that doesn't hold up, Cody?
Some of the acting choices by some of the other lesser known people, not so great.
Yeah.
I also don't think that all of Ernest, it doesn't hold up for me.
Yeah, but why would you say that? Because it's a bit.
I know it's a bit.
How do you know? But then how would you know if his acting's not on par?
That's not his acting.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying the bit doesn't hold
You
up.
just don't think it's funny?
Like, I can remember laughing at half of the Ernests you went through at the beginning.
But only half.
But, like, this one was never in my top 2 Ernest movies, and I laughed even less this time.
He's cold-hearted, man.
All
He's
right,
like the Grinch. Things that don't hold up. The production value. This movie looks like it was someone's community college video final project. Like at times, it's very rough. You can tell it's done on the cheap. And I don't think I noticed that when I was a kid.
Well, they were all Ernest vanity projects. I mean, it was all
Yeah.
just built around him. So, the other stuff kind of fades into the background. This one has a story, I think, that's more removed from Ernest than the other ones, where, he doesn't end up as Santa and, he's helping people and he is, but isn't the central character.
I think part of the issue here is that all the other Ernest movies are very practical, whereas this one has magic and there has to be some effects, and they're bad. They're just straight up bad. The supporting cast, as Cody said, other than the handful of core players, so many of the side characters feel like they just pulled them from like regional theater within 30 minutes of wherever they were filming. And they were like, hey, we need you guys. Like, Ernest is great. Santa's great. The airport dudes are great. And then there's like 8 other people that someone yelled action and they just brought these guys in with a boom mic, right? It's like, all right, go. And this being his best movie, I would have swore that this movie was the best Ernest movie when I was a kid. After watching it last night, I don't think so. I think it was just that it was like the wholesome Christmas movie. And there is some good stuff in that. Like there's some really good themes because it's a Christmas movie. But I'd have to say Ernest Goes to Camp's probably better than this one.
It is.
I need an Ernest Goes to Jail rewatch because I think that's mine.
I was going to say Ernest Goes to Jail is number 2 in my book.
I saw Ernest Goes to Jail in the movie theater, believe it or not. And I would say absolutely not the best one.
If we're talking childhood, I wore out my tape of Slam Dunk Ernest.
I will say Ernest Goes to Jail, though, is the best Jim Varney.
Because you get the dual role.
Yeah, he really gets to show himself there, which I think is good. But the story itself is a little rough. Jackson, which character would you be if you were a character in this movie?
I would be the snake wrangler.
Would you say Paulson? Paulson snakes.
You want one for your boy? See, Cody's laughing now, and then just
I
got
laughed
done.
at that bit.
Okay,
It's
you've
not all
salvaged
the
yourself
bits.
somewhat.
I love that Santa's in the back of the truck using a garden hose, and then like Ernest is like straight up beating him. Like, no, down, Paulson snake.
Even aside from Christmas time, my wife and I quote that to each other.
That's
But-
awesome.
The agent's mother is probably my favorite. For
Yeah.
the
I laughed at all the times when Ernest
Ernest
dressed
in
up in
drag
disguise.
is always
Yeah, is funny stuff.
is a winner.
Cody, what character would you be?
I'm Vern.
No, that's who we all are. We're all Vern.
I'm Vern. I would have closed the door. I would have eventually let him in and then just watched him destroy my house. So,
There
yep.
is a specific bit in this movie where he shows up at Vern's house. and Vern clearly does not like Ernest, which is it is a hilarious part of the bit because Vern is the part always a part of the Ernest story, but in this movie they make it seem like Vern doesn't like Ernest at all because he's walking destruction.
And by the end of Ernest being at Vern's house, you get why Vern closed the door in his face.
I feel like I'm Ernest when I come to your house with the baby to watch football.
Close to it.
I'm obviously Joe Carruthers. Joe Carruthers in this movie is literally the nicest human being on the planet, but he's also deep down convinced that he's got this other calling. Oh, I could be this cool actor guy. And that maybe one day he's going to wake up and just be edgy or whatever. And everyone else around him is like, dude, you're seriously Santa Claus. This is perfect for you. This is who you're not fooling anybody. And I identify with that, like being the nice guy, but also wanting to not be the nice guy. But it doesn't ever play out because I'm just the nice guy. And so I fully identify with Joe Carruthers as just the guy who everyone else sees that you're just this guy. But I really want, and I know I'm that guy, but I really want to be the cool, edgy guy sometimes, but I'm not cool or edgy.
You're this guy and you want to be that guy.
Yes. Pastor's Corner, deeper themes. At its core, Ernest Saves Christmas isn't about Ernest saving Christmas at all. That's not what it's really about. At its core, this is a story about people running away from who they're meant to be and slowly being nudged back toward their true identity. We're going to look at this through 3 specific character arcs. One, I just talked about Joe Carruthers. Literally the nicest guy in the world, being told repeatedly, you're definitely perfect to be Santa. And his response is basically, maybe someday, but right now I want to do this. His whole journey in the movie is resisting the thing that everyone else can already see in him. He's called, he's chosen, he's gifted, and yet he's terrified of stepping into that. Harmony / Pamela, the runaway, she's running from her past, masking herself with attitude and sarcasm. She's desperate to not let anyone see she has real feelings, and she doesn't think she deserves something better, so she pretends she doesn't want it. She's got that teenager thing going on. So she's masking her true self. And then there's the antithesis to all of that message, all of those running arcs, which is Ernest, who never questions who he is. He never tries to be something different, even though some people would find him obnoxious and annoying. He is a cartoon tornado of chaos, especially when he goes to Vern's. But every action he takes comes from a place of kindness. He's got like this childlike naivety and belief. And ironically, he's the only person in the movie who's already living authentically. He's not trying to become anything. He just is. He's that guy. And so that's the big theme of the movie, I think, in my opinion, is that in our lives, culture, fear, disappointment, they're always constantly trying to convince us to be something we're not. Like, I want to be cooler. I want to be tougher. I want to be cynical, right? Like hipsters, like I want to think everything's, it's not good enough. I want to be less trusting, less kind. But Christmas is this giant reminder. And whether you believe the story that inspires Christmas or not, the story says that God steps into the world in a way that nobody would have expected and invites you to be your truest self. And that's essentially kind of the message of authenticity, which is all at the center of this movie.
And know that you belong and are loved.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. I'm a fan. Anything to add to that?
I already said my 2 cents.
Okay. It's time for the winner of the movie. Jackson, who is your winner of the movie?
I feel to say Ernest is too cliche, so I am going to say Mr. Santos.
He is a good Santa. I want to know what happened to that guy.
He made movies after this.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Well, he settles down with Billy Bird as Seth Applegate.
Douglas Seal. Oh, you know what? When I see him without his beard, I recognize him from other stuff. He was in, he's done lots of voice work. He was in Aladdin. The cartoon, Disney Aladdin.
Goalie.
Fern Gully, yeah. The Rescuers Down Under. He was in...
Underrated
he
Jim.
was in Mr. Destiny, that John Belushi movie. Or is it Jim? Which one is the worst one?
Jim.
Jim. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. He was also in A Smoky Mountain Christmas with Dolly.
That's where most people know him from.
So my question is, though, when he stopped being Santa, he was like 130 some odd years old.
Yeah, does his health just fall
Yeah.
off
No.
when the magic's gone?
Did he
keeps
just
going.
disintegrate after he walked off camera?
Does he turn into dust like the dude who drinks from the wrong cup on Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
I imagine he just continues life from where he got picked up as Santa. So, like, if he was, like, in his 60s, he just is basically running at a 60-year-old rate.
Stays 60 forever like a vampire?
No, he just starts aging
Yes.
from that point
Okay.
on again. Yeah.
Like, there was a
Vampire
pause
Santa
for
was
100 years, and
Different
then
film.
Okay, I can go with that. Cody, who's your winner of the movie?
Oliver Clark.
Oliver, Joe Carruthers.
Yes, because when he is filming Christmas Sleigh, or doing the test footage for it, and almost cusses, but then stops himself, I believe he could not cuss at all. I believed it, and when he sees the bad graphics of Santa's sleigh flying outside the window, he genuinely lights up, and I'm like, I don't know how you're lighting up at this, buddy, but that's amazing. And so, yes, no, this guy seemed genuinely nice, and I will be a approver and champion of the nice guy.
In case you're wondering, Oliver Clark was also in the original A Star Is Born. He was in episodes of Saint Elsewhere. He was in Mystery Men with Ben Stiller.
Hey,
The Bob Newhart Show. He was also on that. Yeah.
all the hits.
He was in some things. He was doing his thing. My winner of the movie is Jim Varney. For me, he's the winner over Santa or even Christmas itself. And specifically, I want to say the legacy of Jim Varney. Because this movie, more than any of the other Ernest films, I think shows just how talented this guy actually was. He does physical comedy. He's doing voice work, slapstick. He does sight gags. There's moments of emotional sincerity hidden in a lot of these gags. And somehow, like I said earlier, it just seems so effortless to him. Like he's just going. And where you could actually take a line like, you know what I mean, Vern? And make it feel sincere, like it's a sincere invitation and not just a catchphrase. And I think that's the magic of Jim Varney as Ernest. He doesn't just play him, he kind of inhabits him. Like he is that dude. He's so committed to this role that at some point it stops being a joke and it's a genuine like piece of 80s pop culture. And watching it last night, I just realized he deserved a lot more credit than he ever got for it. Because he's a performer. It's a craft. Like he's crafting this character. And we just thought it was a big goof. And it makes me feel sad for him. But for his legacy, I think it's kind of cool. And so, yeah. By the way, they're making a documentary about Jim Varney. It's in post-production right now. About Ernest, specifically. His roles as Ernest. Jackson, who's the loser of the movie?
The loser of the movie would be the elves.
The Helper Elms?
They were funny.
The elves were funny, man.
I agree they were funny, but I don't really know what purpose they served at the end. And
Someone had to supervise Ernest.
they get upstaged by Harmony. She becomes the honorary elf.
Yeah.
So they don't start out very well in the new Santa administration.
Cody, who's the loser of the movie?
It's Jim Varney. So if you go through his filmography,
Yeah.
he tries to do these indie films to build up his acting credit, but he is typecast forever. Like, as far away mainstream as he gets from this role, it's still kind of slapstickish.
Is Jed Clampett.
It's Jed Clampett. And so I feel for him because, like, there are clips, and I think it's because of this documentary that's coming out that of him doing Shakespeare, and it's just resurfaced. And it's like, oh, this guy actually is serious thespian, and now we just know him as Ernest.
Yeah.
We don't know the springboard that Slinky Dog might have provided.
Yeah, because he gets sick. And that's why it's not like they didn't want to continue on with him, letting him be the voice. But that's the paradox of all this, right? Because if the winner of the movie, my winner, was The Legacy of Jim Varney, then I agree. The loser of the movie is Jim Varney himself, because beneath that goofy denim sweat vest and in the rubber face comedy was a trained actor, a guy who went to classes and did Shakespeare. He loved the craft and dreamed of being like this real performer. And instead, Hollywood basically takes some points at him and says, "You're this funny man-child forever." And he's not a super public celebrity. He's not real outspoken. It's not like the internet age where all these guys are on podcasts now and we hear their opinions so much. There's not really a lot of interviews out there with Jim Varney, and you wonder, like, did this bum him out?
Although he was the first to ride Splash Mountain.
Well, when you mentioned Robin Williams, I kind of digested that for a minute, and a lot of Robin's dramatic work and nuanced work came later in life.
Yeah.
And, who's to say if cancer hadn't taken him that he may have had that time where he surpassed Ernest and we had dramatic Jim Varney roles the same as we did Robin Williams.
Could have had 1 hour photo.
Yeah.
According to you, that's what we had in this movie.
Yeah, it's sad that he gets cancer and dies so young, because I think in these roles you can see the flashes of someone that has like this range, and especially when he's playing the different characters. And it's sort of tragic that he gets famous by being Ernest, but never really gets to move on from that. And like, I'm like you, Jackson. I think if he'd have lived longer, we would have seen that. Like, I think he would have had a very Robin Williams like career. And it stinks that we don't get to see him do something serious. And yeah, I think he had that kind of talent.
Do we have an Ernest of today?
We don't have comedies.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have comedies. I mean, yeah. Like, what? Who would you even compare? Like, I really think Will Ferrell is the most comparable, especially his role in Elf. I know
knew Cody would be in anguish when you said
Cody
that.
is not a fan of Will Ferrell, but I think they're similar, because that's when Will Ferrell's at his funniest, when he's playing kind of like a simpleton. And he just loses himself and sells out for that role. Now, granted, he's never been like that 80s man-child like we're talking about here. But I think it's the most similar. I think especially Elf is the most similar role to that. How many Verns out of 10, Jackson?
I'm going to give Ernest Saves Christmas 7 Verns out of 10. As I mentioned, I don't think it's my favorite Ernest. I still have a soft spot for Scared Stupid because it scared a wee version of myself. That troll is pretty intense for a kid's movie.
A wee Jackson?
Watch it with the lights on, thankfully. Ernest wins in the end, but I feel 7 out of 10. It's a yearly rewatch, and I don't feel insulted by continuing to watch it.
Cody, how many Verns out of 10?
For a kid's movie, I will go 7. For just a regular movie, probably a 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you separated it out, because clearly this is for kids.
It is.
That occurred to me more watching it last night than it had when I was a kid watching this movie.
Solomon would have loved it.
So yeah, I think there's a difference. I'm just going to give it one rating as a movie. And this is just my honest reflection watching it last night. And again, I'm going to say I love Jim Varney. I laughed multiple times, but this is a 4.5 out of 10. This is a slightly,
We agree.
this is a slightly under average Christmas movie comedy that doesn't quite hold up. And it just makes me more sad for Jim Varney because I don't know. The Ernest character, it did feel like kind of a knockoff. As talented as that guy is, it just feels like they're just milking him. And I wanted more from it. Sorry, Jackson. Because this really was a favorite of mine when I was a kid.
Betrayal's not a good color for you, Dave.
What do you guys think about Ernest Saves Christmas? Did I insult the millennial in you? Do you still love Ernest, or have you watched it lately and decided, well, that doesn't quite hold up? Let us know on the social media post for this. Also, if you haven't gotten a Christmas shirt, a Pop Culture Pastor Christmas shirt, look back through I think we have it pinned on our Facebook page. Go find the post, hit the link, get yourself the cool Die Hard shirt that says, "Welcome to the Christmas party, pal." Everybody's doing it, and you'll be the coolest person at your work Christmas party.
It doubles as an ugly Christmas sweater, even though it's not ugly.
It's not ugly at all. But I'm told the sales are good. I don't have access to all that, so I'm excited. And did I mention that the midwife we had for our birth wore it to the hospital?
Hey,
And the doctors and nurses all commented on it. It was excellent. It was like, if I'm being honest, it was right up there with the events of the day as maybe the best thing. No, it was definitely the baby, but you know what I mean. So check that out. Let us know what you think about Ernest Saves Christmas, and we'll see you next time.